he had shot his family at the home. Subject was placed under arrest, and he's been identified as a 25-year-old resident of that house. Officers checked the residence and located 2 deceased adults in a bedroom, male and female, and 2 more deceased adults in the backyard, male and female. Despite all life-saving measures, all 4 victims were pronounced deceased at the scene, suffering from gunshot wounds. 3 of the victims were identified as family members of the suspect, and they also resided at that house. The 4th victim was in a dating relationship with the suspect's brother and often stayed at the house. We have identified the victims as Sterling Ray Pierce, 58 years old, the father of the suspect. Holly Marie Kimball, that's Holly Marie Kimball, the mom, 53 years old. Tanner Ray Pierce, the brother, 22 years old. And his girlfriend, Nevaeh Mae Jocelyn Finch, 21 years old. We located and confiscated the weapon we believe was used in the incident. It was within the home. That weapon was a semi-automatic rifle. The scene was contained by our officers quickly, and there was no threat to the public. I can tell you this, the Livonia police have not been to this address for any prior incidents involving this suspect. The investigation is ongoing, and once complete, we will forward our findings to the Wayne County's Prosecutor's Office for review. I want to emphasize again, this is a tragic event for our city, and our thoughts and prayers are for the families of the loved ones who were affected by this incident. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Did he say why? Motive in this situation?
No, we are not. We are working on motives at this point. All I can tell you is this, that there was a contentious relationship between the suspect and his parents. And that's all we can tell you. We don't know what happened yesterday, but that's what we can tell you today.
Do we know if there were any history of mental health issues with the suspect here?
We're not aware of any. As you know, we have an in-house social clinician that makes many of our mental health runs, and he does a tremendous job of assisting those in mental health crisis. And the suspect is not in the system or any systems that our mental health clinician can find anywhere.
We were told a dog was also shot in the home?
I am not aware of that. I believe there was a dog in the home, but I am not aware that it was shot.
Was he the owner of the gun?
That is to be determined. Upon executing a search warrant, we did locate several other weapons. We believe likely Dad owned some guns and possibly the suspect.
You said this was the first shooting, or first time you came to the house for that suspect. Was there another time you came to the house within the last 3 years for a shooting?
No. So there's been some rumors in social media, et cetera, that this house had a shooting a couple of years back. That is not accurate. Coincidentally, a house nearby had it, a shooing there, not related to this house.
Does this man have criminal history?
Not
necessarily with you guys, but other...
Not that we're aware of?
None.
No criminal history.
Forgive me if I wasn't listening closely enough. Have you given a suspect age, and are you going to identify him by name at this point?
So as you all know, we are investigating this. We are compiling our findings. We'll submit our investigation to Wayne County's Prosecutor's Office. If and when they charge the suspect, we'll release his name and all those things that are rampant.
Have neighbors said anything about witnessing any issues at the home, whether it was arguing, any fighting outside the home or anything like that?
So of course we've done a ton of canvassing and talked to many neighbors, and we're still working on that part of the investigation, and that'll come out at a later time.
How hard is it, everyone in that home is unfortunately deceased. How hard is it without having those witnesses to tell you what exactly led up to this?
It's what we have. But our detectives and our investigators have done a tremendous job in this case. I'd like to say that our officers acted within the highest standards of the Livonia Police Department, and they've done a fantastic job of canvassing, collecting evidence, piecing together what occurred and why, and when we have more, we'll be able to give it to you.
Was the shooting take place in the backyard and the house as well, or both?
Correct. Shooting inside the house and in the backyard.
Has the suspect been cooperative?
That will be for later on in court proceedings, whether he has been or not. Thank you.
Can you confirm how many shots were fired?
We're working on that. As you know, it is a very complex scene. with 4 deceased, very tragic incident, and it takes time to get those numbers accurately, make sure we've collected everything that was there, and those things will again come out during the investigation.
Did the suspect seem remorseful at all exiting the home?
I can't speak to that.
Were any of the victims alive when first responders arrived? I mean, you mentioned life-saving efforts failed, but I didn't know if that meant trying to resuscitate somebody without a pulse, or were they alive? Were they not?
No, they were deceased when we arrived.
Are you all able to tell us where the victims were shot on their bodies?
No, not this time.
Were there any other occupants of the home who weren't home at the time? Anyone else who lives
Not that we're aware of. We believe that there are no other occupants at that house.
Can you share any further the friction you referenced between the subject and his parents as far as sourcing, neighbors, other family? Are you able to detail it all?
So it's a very early investigation, and all I can tell you is that we're understanding from our investigation that there was a contentious relationship between the suspect and his parents. Whether that had anything to do with what occurred yesterday, we don't know yet.
Can you further define what that means?
I can't.
Who was shot
I can tell you we have not been out there for him, as I stated earlier. Pardon me?
Who was shot?
Okay, so outside in the backyard were the mother and father of the suspect. Inside in a bedroom was his brother and the brother's girlfriend.
So it started outside, or did it start inside? I'm just trying to.
We're still investigating that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can you confirm the name spellings of each of the victims?
Certainly. So Sterling is Sterling, Ray, Ray, Pierce, Pierce, that's the father. The mom, Holly, Holly, Marie, Marie, middle, and last name Kimball, Kimball. The brother Tanner, Tanner, middle name Ray, last name Pierce. And Nevaeh, and I'm not positive this is correct, this is the information I have at this time, is Nevaeh, May, M-A-Y, Jaslyn, Jaslynn, last name Finch, Finch.
Is she also a resident of Livonia?
So she is from Warren, but she spent most of her time at this residence with her boyfriend.
Can you go through their ages one more time?
Dad was 58, mom was 53, the brother Tanner was 22, and his girlfriend Nevaeh is 21.
Appreciating you have an investigation ongoing, and you've mentioned friction with the parents. Was there any friction with the brother? I hate to be asking this way, but jealousy with the girlfriend, any type of dynamic there? Or did this appear to happen because of the friction with the parents?
So again, we're not aware of any friction with the brothers, and we don't know why this happened. We just can tell you that the relationship between the suspect and the parents was contentious at times, per our investigation. That's all we really have for you at this point.
This has been a rough reaction for your community. What's it been like for you guys and for your community?
So thank you for asking that. So our officers run into harm's way. They run when people run away, and we run to it. And our officers, you can even see there's some video out there by witnesses, our officers sprinted into that home, sprinted there to try and save lives. And it is a difficult thing. And thankfully, Livonia Police Department has a great support system for our officers. We have a CISM program, which is Critical Incident Stress Management, which is peer support and other professional support. And in these type of incidents, when officers deal with these tragedies, they get that professional debriefing right away. They get to be able to talk about it, and that's gone very well for our community. It always affects our community, and that's why it's important that we get out the information we can as soon as we can to assure the public this was absolutely a crime that occurred within the confines of this house, between the members of this house, and it was nothing to do with anything else in the city of Livonia. It had to do with this house and these folks, and it's tragic, and our hearts go out to that family.
Can you go into detail how you worked to apprehend the suspect?
As I said, we arrived on a shots fired run, and the suspect came out of the house as we arrived with his hands in the air.
That doesn't usually happen.
I can tell you this, I am grateful that that happened, because what could have been worse is if the suspect was still armed and did not want to place himself in our hands. So I'm very grateful for that. Our officers did not have to take any violent action, and we have the suspect in custody, and now we'll go through the process of obtaining justice.
Do you have any rough idea of the timeline of recommendation of charging request to the prosecutor, given all the elements seem to be in place?
Sure, all the elements seem to be in place, but it does take time to process. There's a lot of evidence. We collected quite a few things. And I can't give you a timeline, but I'm fairly confident that we will get our findings to the prosecutor's office probably tomorrow, we're hoping, but it could be a little longer. But yeah, it's all hands on deck. We're a full-service police department. We have a full-size crime scene unit. Our crime scene unit does an excellent job, and they handle that crime scene spectacularly, collect all the evidence, and the detectives, the investigators are all doing their job now to make sure that we present a complete and clear investigation as we know it to the prosecutor.
Is the suspect in custody here in Livonia?
He is. He's in custody with us. I'll take one more question if there is one.
Can you speak to the last 10 days? Livonia Police has had someone has called it a rough go of it the last 10 days with the situation at BioLife Plasma, and then with the arrest of the hazmat burglar. Can you speak to how your officers are doing this week? They've been really busy, and they've had a lot on their plate.
Appreciate that. Yes, our officers have been busy. Livonia is a very safe community. We had not had a homicide before the stabbing in 3 years, which is incredible for a city of our size and it being an inner suburb of southeast Michigan. But it has been busy. There's been a lot of tragedy. Our officers are trained. They're professional. They're outstanding individuals. They care about this community. And that support system I mentioned has truly helped. And we're a family, and we take care of each other. So it's been difficult, but our feelings go out toward the victims, and that is where our focus is as law enforcement, because we serve and protect, and we want to ensure we're doing everything for the victims and their families, and that helps our officers push through and do that good job. And of course, always do check-ins with our officers, make sure they're mentally, physically, and spiritually healthy. Thank you. All right, thanks, folks.
Thank you.
So before the stabbing, it was 3 years.
3 years since the homicide.